trying to tell a story about something that I believe to be true, that's been true for a long time in this country and in this culture, and it's sort of a pervasive, strain that runs through our very existence. And the only thing that was important to me about this story when I made it up, this story exists as a song and as a short story that I wrote. And I wrote the song first, or a version of the song, then I wrote the story, and then I went back and rewrote the song because I had some more detail about the characters in this. But the only thing that was important to me was, you don't necessarily know this when you hear the song, but the person speaking to you in the song is a probably handicapped young man who has been living in a more or less isolated situation. So he doesn't know that he's different. He doesn't know he's different because of his handicap, and he doesn't know he's different because he just doesn't happen to be white. And the only thing that was important to me about this song when I wrote it at the time, because I lived in the South when I wrote it, but I was determined not to set it in the South. So I set it just north of the Mason-Dixon line, literally. And I do know, for those of you from Maryland, that I do know now that it's actually Taneytown. I didn't when I wrote the song, and where I got the title from was I know way too much about the Battle of Gettysburg, but I know it from reading books. I'm an autodidact, so I basically know everything. There's a lot of things that I know how to spell them, and I know what they mean, but I don't know how to pronounce them. That's sort of the story of my life. And so I didn't know how to pronounce Taneytown. It's named after a judge, and he very important citizen of that part of Maryland. And so this song, all the stuff that's been going on the last few years, and we're seeing this sort of huge backlash. And basically what's happened, folks, is racism still exists, it's still alive and well, and it will stay alive because it's part of, the only thing that Condoleezza Rice ever said that impressed me was, as smart as she is, she only said one thing that impressed me, and there's reasons for that, to be fair. But she said that we suffer in this country suffers from a birth defect, and that birth defect is slavery. And it's slavery, stupid. It's one of those things. It's part of our history, and it's part of who we are. And it's the reason that we're still tripping over this, over and over and over again. And it was a country that a bunch of white people got together and started for white people. And it didn't turn out that way, because it's bigger than we are. It's bigger than the people that started it. And it's so we need to keep telling these stories, and I need to keep singing this song. You need to go see Selma, and we need to. This thing that's happened recently it's important, because basically what happened as far as our police force is concerned, we went through a period where our police were becoming more accountable for the things that they did, and there are people that want to roll that back, just arbitrarily roll it back, and we can't have that happen. So this is called Taneytown, and I apologize to the judge. Taneytown, I went down to Taneytown to see what I could see. My mama told me never go. I'm down there 22 years old. Sometimes I feel this heart swallow me. She went off to Gettysburg, went off of that new boy as I took off after dark. Down the county road, the night was cool, the moon was low, down to where the blacktop highway starts. I went down to Taneytown, I went down to Taneytown, I went down
stared at me. You think that they never seen a colored bar before. They jumped at me, calling names. They whipped me sharp, but the sheriff came. I took out and ran to the drag store. I ran down Division Street. Some of them boys followed me down to the railroad track. Four of them and I came back. Well, I got my old Randall knife and I cut that boy and I never did look back. I went down to Taneytown. I went down to Taneytown. I went down to see what I could see. Gun back home to my bed. I come in from Gettysburg, and that new boy huss. Boy, you look like hell was all she said. Well, a month about without a word, somebody down the holler heard about that boy they hung. There goes me in despair his life, but I dropped my bloody Randall knife. He picked it up, they thought he was the one.